Hello, watch lovers. You know what time it is. Sorry, Gavin was just telling me where my camera was tonight because it's actually moved. So, Gav, what can I say? I don't know how I'm here. I've got to be honest with you.
Honestly.
What he means to say is, welcome to Monday evening. Welcome to That Watch Guy London. He's joined this evening by Gavin, who's back, and by the gorgeous, beautiful Kaylee.
That was it.
Hi, guys.
Kaylee, welcome back. How you doing?
No, welcome back, Gavin.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
It's nice to see you back and healthy.
Thank
and well.
you. Thank you so much.
On last week.
He
Yeah,
wasn't.
yeah,
He
yeah.
had to have a week off.
Spencer, I don't want to do that whole reminding you thing, but every time you turn your head to the left of Kaylee, there's no microphone over that side, is there? Great to be back. Pleased to see you had a really nice, quiet week without me. Not a lot's gone on in your world, is there? No.
Nothing really.
In fact, when I think that nothing's gone on in your world, I actually questioned what the dress code is for tonight because I saw you did a live stream with Paul, and what on earth were you doing in a suit and tie? Is that how it goes?
Paul said to me, put a jacket on, you got to look respectable. And I was so punch drunk with the whole thing that I listened to it. What's what you bought there?
I bought a suit in just in case we're all wearing suits now. I thought maybe that's
No, they're long gone.
Yeah, until
Paul,
I realised it didn't fit me.
I shouldn't even listen to him, should I really?
I mean,
Gav.
you're a high flying businessman now.
Yeah.
I mean, you are who you are,
Look, Gav,
Spencer
it's
Dreyer.
T-shirt and jeans. That's
Now,
it.
I know you made a very big statement last week. You read out an absolutely gorgeous statement, and I'd just like to start off with a following on statement from Spencer's statement, okay? And it reads as follows. Dear all, Sunday's performance against Newcastle was wholly unacceptable. It was devastating to see. We can look at many reasons why it happened, and whilst myself, the board, and the coaches and players must all collectively take responsibility, ultimately, the responsibility is mine. Christian will leave his role along with his coaching staff. Christian stepped in at a difficult point in our season, and I want to thank him for his professional manager in which he and his coaching staff have conducted themselves during a challenging time. We wish him and his staff well. Ryan Mason, along with Spencer Dreyer, will take over head coach duties with immediate effect. Ryan knows the club and the players well. We shall update further on his coaching due course. I met with the player committee today. You can only imagine. The squad is determined to pull together to ensure the strongest possible finish of the season. We're all clear we need to deliver performances which earn your amazing support. Coys Daniel. What do you think about that to start the week off with?
I mean, that was
Disgusting yesterday, wasn't it?
Can I say, we were working yesterday. We'll
Yeah.
get onto that on a Sunday. And all I heard, bear in mind, he's next to me, what the hell? And I literally like, what has happened?
No, I didn't quite use that language.
I mean, you swore, but
it was a bit
obviously-
worse than that language.
I was like, what's happened? And he was like, we're 5-0 down. We're only 20 minutes in.
Ian Nicholson was texting me as the first goal win. I was actually out shopping yesterday afternoon, and
She
Ian,
didn't even bother.
I wasn't even watching it. But actually, Vicky's daughter went to It's the only away game. She thought it'd be great fun to go to Newcastle. She went to Newcastle the weekend. The boys are never taking her again after being obviously as an away fan.
It's the worst. By the way, you know there was an alert. Let me
Yeah,
just
3
show you
o'clock.
that. Have you seen this one?
I did, yeah. Is that the alert to say 3 o'clock in the afternoon? This is to let you know that another Tottenham goal's gone in. Severe alert test. This is a test, emergency test.
This was Sunday, wasn't it?
Yeah,
This was...
3 o'clock. A new UK government service that will warn Tottenham Hotspur fans to stop watching their side if there's a serious threat of humiliation. I saw loads of those, and the timing of that was absolutely perfect. New week, new studio.
Yes.
Oh,
James,
We gave James.
let's give
shout
James
out.
a round of applause.
Oh, Gav, you're late because you weren't here.
I was
last week.
watching.
James, I just want to say, who helped you? You must have had help with it.
He must have
Yeah.
had help.
James, come on.
This looks like a Spencer Dreyer set, though.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. Spencer, you're my knight in shining armour. Should we talk about it?
Shall we?
What did I miss last week?
Actually, there was nothing last Monday. It was Thursday.
It was Thursday. I tell you what, let's
No,
get...
it was Monday. I was in talks of this situation.
Evening, Paul. Lovely to see you. Hope you're well. Hey, Greggy. Hey, Wayne. Hey, Tim Jacks. Good to have everybody with us this evening. We are going to come to that in just a minute because I feel like there's been big news in the watch world this week, and you're going to tell me that obviously
Nothing really went on.
BQ was big news, but there was bigger news in the watch world, Spencer.
Go on.
There was bigger news. So let's do a wrist check first. What have you got on your wrist?
Oh, well, this watch hasn't even come off me for a whole week.
What do you got? What have you got on? Let's have a
We've
little
got the
look.
GMT Fat Lady. Again, haven't got a chance.
Let me get
Gav.
this on. Hold on a second. Clean feed. Hold on a sec. You got the GMT.
16760, the fat lady.
Okay, so you've basically had this on now for about a month.
Mm. Well, you know, it's...
I don't know why you even like question it.
Okay. It's a beautiful looking watch. Why have you kept it on?
I haven't got to the safe. I can't get to the safe.
You can't get to the safe to change it, can you? Oh, wow. Okay. Do you want to know what the big news in the watch world was this week, Spencer?
I bet you I can guess, but you go.
Here you go, Spencer. Take your cheap looking watch back. Spencer Dryer.
Go on, Gav's been...
You heard the saying, you complete me.
Go on.
You got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, the quest is over.
That is nice of you.
Let's put it on the camera so everyone can have a little look, and then I'll let you have a little look, Spence. The quest is over.
No, is this version
Version 1
Mark
or 2?
1 or Mark 2?
Let's not even go there to what version it is, because actually at this point in my life,
You just don't care.
I just couldn't care less.
Probably doesn't know what version it is.
No, that's why.
It's version
You know
2.
what?
It's no, I'm pretty sure it's
a
version 2.
non-leaking version.
So this is the non-leaking version. I picked it up. Yeah, I got.
Did you get the call?
I got the call. Someone asked me actually on social media yesterday, was I more excited getting a call from Rolex or getting the call from Swatch? And it's a pretty close call because there's something about collecting.
So this is the full set now. Oh, there
I can reveal, most certainly, sir, that this is absolutely the full set now. And there's quite a lot to handle, Spencer, as you can well imagine. But you've got quite a few watches of your own these days, haven't you? I notice you have. But none of these in your safe, have you?
No. Well, I've got the blue one, as you know. How many are there in total collection?
Well, that's a very interesting question, because if you would have asked me that a couple of months ago, I would have told you there's 11. But actually now there's this one as well, which is the Moonshine with the little gold hand.
You got that as well?
Kaylee, if you're obsessive and stupid, you're going to have them all, aren't you?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, that was the one that Heavenly Mark and I queued up for about 6 weeks ago at the Royal Exchange. That was the one that's released on the full moon. And yeah. But of course, it begs the one question now: what am I going to do about the case?
Oh yeah, court.
Oh, yeah, the box, the case. So
why you can?
No, you absolutely cannot. I mean, if I thought it was hard enough getting the last watch, there's no case coming my way. Certainly not from Swatch. But I'm looking into the options.
They will come.
Well, maybe from display one day. But
that'd be fantastic to get that.
It will be. It will be. But what's really interesting is the timing of my journey. And I know you've got big news to talk about, and we will come to it in a second. But this was bigger. The timing of the journey is interesting because I believe, for all you haters of Swatch and the collaboration with Omega that they've done, there's a new collab coming.
What, with another brand?
No.
With Omega?
Yep. And I believe, let me find my little button here. I believe that it's going to be Seamaster. And I believe it could be, this is what the punters are sort of throwing out, the 7 Seas Watchmaster collection. This was knocked up by Bevelworks. No, but it was just sort of some iterations of like the 7 Seas, perhaps potentially. Some of them, that's the James Bond one that actually it doesn't look like it's going to be happening. But what I'm led to believe potentially is it could be, I mean, these are just someone's mock-ups. So just don't, Indian Ocean, Southern Ocean, North Atlantic, Southern Atlantic, they all look pretty horrific to me. And I don't think that Omega and Swatch would go down that route. I just think it would be a classic Seamaster. And something interesting for them to do. Yeah.
Can I see?
What do you want to see?
The blue.
That one. The blue and the MoonSwatch.
You want to see the blue and the Moonshine?
Yeah.
Yeah, have a little look at those. Don't put your fingers all over them, Spencer. Come on. Let's treat it with respect.
Let me see the Moonshine.
Spencer, you've got gloves on. There we go. Guys, how are you doing? I would just like to thank everybody for your very lovely messages last week. Thank you for the shout out from Kaylee and Spencer while I was off ill. I'm pleased to report that I'm fully 100% back to full fitness, minus one little tiny body part, which is my gallbladder, which has now disappeared from my body. But
how long was the surgery, Gav?
Did you sell off the part? Did you?
Well, no, but they very kindly, when I woke up, left me a pot with a very nice stone in it. Yeah, which was rather disgusting and giant size, about the size of an avocado stone.
Right.
And they told me that was just one of them. So, yeah. Come on, you ever see
feeling
something
good?
so nice, Kaylee? Look at that. It's beautiful, isn't
A
it?
bit uncomfortable.
Yeah, they have to break in the straps.
Yeah, they.
You have to break them in a little bit.
gonna say,
I
it's
have to be
very,
perfectly honest. Yeah.
I do like this one actually. Really like this Neptune.
The blue is beautiful, isn't it?
Neptune,
Yeah,
isn't
it's
it?
Neptune. Yeah.
This actually might be one. I think I prefer this to the Tiffany. I think it's a nicer blue.
You mean the Tiffany blue Rolex,
Yeah.
or you mean the Tiffany blue?
Yeah, I mean the Tiffany blue Swatch.
Yeah. Well, they're all here. You can have a little look and compare yourself. Let's have a look.
It's nice.
No, I really like this blue.
The blue is nice.
I'd wear that.
There you go. There's the Tiffany. Pass that down to Kaylee for me.
That's the one I've got.
Yeah, that's the one we got in Vegas.
When do you wear it?
But here's an interesting point that my fellow Swatch people on the Swatch groups have pointed out to me: is have a look at the chrono hand just here. It doesn't reset through to 12 o'clock because it's got a little fault to it, and it's common fault. And look, when it spins around, it stops in the wrong place.
Is that the only one?
No, I've got 3 of them actually do that. So that's really, really good. And I will be taking those back in to get sorted out. And then I also realised that because I've been very nicely receiving these beautiful watches, half my cards aren't stamped with the guarantees. So I'll be getting that sorted out as well. But that's all good. Right. Let's move on to more interesting things than cheap little moon swatches, shall we, Spencer? It's BQ to the watch community rescue.
Really? What did we do?
Talk me through it and tell me what exactly happened.
It's your time to shine, Spence.
What can I say? There was a situation where someone wasn't in a position to continue trading.
Yeah.
And they were looking for someone to take them over. They're obviously a liquidator or administrator would have a nightmare dealing with that. And
So this stems back originally to
This
their
was
rob.
a few
This
months
started off last November in Berlin.
Yeah.
A 10 or 12 million euro robbery
Sure.
of Watchmaster at their stock.
So Watchmaster in Germany funded Paris and London.
Yeah.
And then had a knock-on effect, and they weren't in a position to keep trading, and business obviously dropped off from this. And Germany was spending a lot of money driving the traffic to the London site, and this had a dramatic effect. So we were approached a few months back, and what we got?
I don't know, it's some sort of noise.
It's like a rat.
It's like a rat or a mouse upstairs.
So they wanted someone to take over the business, and which I wasn't prepared to do.
Yeah.
And then
because you don't need a Mayfair office, you don't necessarily need.
No, this was Farringdon.
Farringdon.
The registered office is Mayfair.
Right, okay.
But this was Farringdon.
Yeah.
So we went to see them. So they wanted someone to possibly buy the assets and look after the contract, speak with the customers, and make all the customers happy.
So just to sort of go over the story for everybody so everybody can understand, if you wouldn't have stepped in when you did to secure some of the assets that whether you did or you didn't want them, but equally the 1,400 contracts or so.
Contracts of the customers.
Yes.
Then they were looking for someone who would take it over and have the setup to deal with it.
Yeah, to fulfill the contracts or speak to the clients.
And store them. And part of it, obviously, to ensure and look after the watches whilst you're dealing with that.
Because the alternative at that point is they're going to go into liquidation. And at that point, of course, they don't own the watches. It's not an asset of theirs, but the liquidators are left with the mess of trying to sort out what on earth do they do with 1,400 watches.
And they don't understand watches.
Yeah.
So someone who's put in a Tudor may end up with an Omega back with the wrong box.
Yeah, it could just be a lot of confusion going on.
I mean,
but also the time, like it wouldn't be
enormous, and we know what we're doing.
Yeah.
So for people who don't know what they're doing, they just no one would want it. You couldn't work it out.
Yeah. Now, Watch Pro broke the story on Friday morning, as well as Paul on his channel. And it's really easy to understand from my perspective, sort of, what you've done and the motive. Can you tell us, what the motivation was? Tell everybody.
The motivation was as we always speak on this channel, we want people to be safe, secure. We don't want any dramas in the watch world. So like we advise people about buying from Facebook or someone they don't know, we wanted people to be safe and secure. So obviously this way we were involved with returning watches or taking them on contract with ourselves and selling them.
But because you identified that at the point that they go into liquidation, you're going to have 1,400 people who potentially will have a nightmare sorting out how long to get their watches back. But Does that come down to the fact that because they were trying to keep trading, they couldn't physically get their watches back, could they? They had to buy out. Wasn't that the deal?
They didn't have the manpower to return the watches, to take the calls, or the money. Yeah, please, James. Or the money to post them to customers.
Right.
So
I mean, they were literally that broke.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. But obviously, just returning them, you got bills to pay.
Yeah.
Staff, the rent, the rates on this premises in Farringdon would be quite huge.
Yeah. And so you started negotiating with them.
We spoke a little while ago, and someone was going to take over the whole business.
Yeah.
Where they'd have the lease and the staff. And then that fell through Friday week ago.
Yeah.
We went to see them on the Monday, and the deal was done Wednesday evening, and we collected everything on Thursday.
So I came to see you on Saturday morning. Oh my goodness, Kaylee, you are piled high in 1,400, not just watch boxes, because the boxes are in packets. Then you've got the boxes which need storing, and the logistics of sorting out like systematically. How's that been going? What's the process?
It's just an organisation. It's organised chaos, should we say?
Literally organised chaos. There's no structure.
Phoning people back.
Just...
But Gav, whilst we're on here, I just want to say most people have been delightful.
Yeah.
And obviously
it's a scary time for them. But the way that they've been with us, honestly, like majority of them have just been so lovely. And do you know what I mean? Like it hasn't been as bad as we thought it might have been, because I thought we're going to get and I would have understood that.
Yes. And the positive, I'm halfway through, and I've said to Kaylee, I want to personally check each watch. I'm halfway through them.
Yeah.
So I'm up to about 700 at the moment. Every watch, their record keeping, perfect, their boxes. So on a positive note for
I will
everyone,
say the way they organise things and the way it all matches is honestly like second to none. And actually, we've actually said like this is what we need to start doing. Just the way it is. Do you know what I mean? Like everything matches. I've got this for this, and it's just it is quite amazing.
Because the cards, the boxes and the cards and the watches are usually kept separately anyway.
Yeah.
Some are separate, but there's record keeping. Everything's barcoded. Everything's labelled. And of the 700, everything is absolutely perfect.
Now, just to explain the difference. So when these watches were with Watchmaster, and obviously Watchmaster were in financial difficulty, they were still holding on to the watches because their hope was
a 12-month contract.
They had a 12-month contract, and if you wanted your watch back, you had to basically buy out your contract. So people were a little bit stuffed. But that's not the case now.
Not the case now.
Right. Explain to everybody how that's going to work with you.
What we're doing with everyone is we're discussing with them. We're trying to give them a contract on better terms and better rates than they were before.
Yeah.
So
they've still got the option to sell them.
Still got the option to sell them. If people want them back, they get them back.
At your cost?
At our cost. So we're posting them. There are some repair bills with Watchmaster that they have to pay.
Yeah.
And equally, everything besides that is going extremely well. And then they'll be listed on our site. And the difficulty was a lot of them weren't listed on Chrono or on other sites.
Yeah.
And we have got quite a big marketing spend with Google AdWords, which means they're seen, they're very transparent, the watches.
Yeah, Nicholas saying, Spencer, you've done well there. Save the insolvency guys an absolute headache. That's Nick's business. He's an insolvency practitioner, isn't he?
One thing I did want to say, though, Gav, I have had a couple of calls, and a gentleman phoned me this evening, just to make it clear. He sold a watch on the 4th of April.
Yes.
And he's phoning me up because the calls are diverted and asking me for the money.
Right, of which that's nothing to do with you.
Nothing to do. I wasn't aware of it. Equally, I'm going to do all I can to help him.
Yeah.
But the sort of tone of the conversation and telling me how important he is on YouTube, and I'm going to say it first here on YouTube, anything that happened prior to the 20th of April when we took the business over is nothing, but we haven't bought the business.
Well, number one, you haven't bought the business. Number two, you don't own the watches. You've bought the contracts to be able to list them.
So any watch sold now after the 20th of April, if I sell the watch, I will take out the commission and I will pay the customer.
Absolutely.
So all 1,400 contracts, and some people are selling us the watches. We are in a position to buy watches. We are in a position to market watches. And the other thing, which apparently Watchmaster weren't doing towards the end, and I understand why, someone's asked me about part exchanging. So if someone wants to part exchange to purchase a watch, they weren't able to do that because they didn't have the funds to pay for the other watch.
Right.
And they didn't want the watch.
And you do.
We can do that.
Yes.
Yeah. But just if there's anything prior, if anyone hasn't been paid for a watch prior to the 20th, I'll do all I can to help them. But I'm not responsible.
Yeah. But what I would say in this situation is treat Spencer nicely and treat Kaylee nicely and be respectful to all the BQ staff, and they will bend over backwards to do everything they can. Some things are legally not your responsibility, but you'll still do what you can to help out.
Another very nice gentleman phoned up and he bought a watch a month ago and needed a valuation. And he asked me very nicely if I could do it. And I said, absolutely no problem.
Yeah. What sort of a headache does it entail in terms of sort of upping the insurance and the logistics? I mean, what's the logistics of the postage of this stuff as well?
A lot of people are collecting.
Yeah.
A lot of people are collecting their goods.
Yeah.
But yeah, and obviously on a day-to-day, you've been in sometimes and want a video or do things.
Oh, then no. If you're looking for an unboxing today, it won't be happening. I wanted to take some pictures of Kaylee and Spencer and do an unboxing, and I walked in. And I just shook my head and I went, no, this is not happening. I mean, you couldn't even move in, and thank goodness you got the new showroom coming as well. So we got the new
showroom coming.
Yeah.
Look, it would have been good in 6 weeks' time, but you can't always.
Timing isn't everything. I'm being asked, can you save Tottenham?
Definitely not. That one's gone.
You sure?
That's gone.
You wouldn't want to take it on?
No. That's one I wouldn't take.
Not even pennies in the pound?
No.
No? Not even with the stadium as an asset?
£30 in the penny.
Were you surprised at the quality of the stock, the diversity of the stock?
Amazing pieces, amazing. And actually, what I really like with it, the diversity of the sort of stock I saw 15, 20 years ago from Amigas, Tudors, Jaegers, Bremont. You know, there's a whole array of different pieces.
Yeah, Nicholas saying, Spencer, I am just a call away. If any clients ever any questions that verge on the insolvency aspect, he's happy to step in, give some advice, because that's his world and he absolutely understands it. And yeah, that's very kind of you, Nick. Thank you so much for that. So diversity of watches is great. I mean, quantity, I just can't go over how I was looking at them piled up in their boxes, in their crates, everybody running around doing the paperwork, Kaylee on the phone taking calls, dealing with all the customers and clients. It's immense, isn't it, what's going on?
Well, literally, since Thursday, everything was moved. We worked till about 10 o'clock. It's been sort of 12, 14-hour days
every day
all over the weekend.
Yeah.
I'm hoping by Wednesday night, everything will be checked off.
Yeah.
And obviously, got to take calls in between and speak with customers and put them at ease about their watch. Some people want to collect and listing them on our site.
Well, I was going to ask you the question because... Go on, sorry, Kaylee. No, go on.
I will say the first call, obviously, when we speak to people, as soon as we say, like, we've got your watch, we don't want you to worry. Honestly, the relief that you can hear.
I would imagine.
I think because a lot of them are thinking, well, where is it? I understand you've taken it over. And I think that first initial thing that we say to them, like, we've got it, I don't want you to, like, worry. It's very, for them, I think that's what then puts them at ease, you know?
We spoke about this, didn't we, before the deal had sort of been signed off, you and I spoke about it. I said the relief from a lot of people must be immense. And there must be also a lot of people that are not necessarily angry with you, but will probably take out the anger of where the position they found themselves in. And the fact that you have their watch probably doesn't release their anger. They need to get it off their chest to someone. So I imagine you're fielding a few calls that are difficult.
But you know what? Majority really have been.
Yeah,
so lovely and understanding, and do you know what I mean? Like,
I've seen the comments people have left you, Kaylee, on Paul's post on the video he did. You know, really positive stuff, saying they've spoken to you and you're handling it.
I think once we've spoken to most people, they're a lot happier.
Russell's asking, are there any Seikos in that vault? Any Seikos?
No.
Sorry,
I think
sorry, Russell. Seiko. That was a Grand Seiko. Couple of Casios, Russell. Couple of Casios, my friend.
Some nice Oris.
Nice Oris. Okay.
And actually,
no, what's one that I had today? And the box is amazing. What is it? Raymond Will.
And a Raymond
what's inside the box is insane. I opened it.
Go on.
And Gav will love what's inside the box.
Go on.
No, guess.
What's inside the box?
I opened it and I honestly mouth dropped. Couldn't believe it.
I mean, it was something to do with the watch.
Gold. I think retail was 2.5, 3 grand.
Yeah.
What else was in the box? Actually, I've never seen that.
A compass.
No.
It's perfect for you. You love what's in the box.
Remote control.
No.
A drone.
No. Do you want to tell
a MoonSwatch.
No, go on.
No, I'll keep going all night if you want.
headphones, like actual
It's got
headphones.
Beats, weren't they?
I don't think they're Beats, but
It's got
headphones.
Beats headphones.
No, they're not Beats. It's got a set of headphones that's part of the watch.
What?
Not part of the watch, part of the box.
But
Part of the box.
Insane.
It's got
When
the
I opened it, I
headphones,
was
and
like,
in
huh?
the middle is the cushion where the watch sits.
So wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. But it's not part of the watch. Not like it's a Seiko, like an old watch.
It's not like an MP3. To be honest, I just opened it and I was like, "What is happening? Is this?" I was just so shocked.
Yeah.
Like,
Tim
it's so
Jack says,
cool.
"Was it a BMX? Could have been a BMX. That would have done it, wouldn't it?" Wow. So, anything else surprise you? Have you gone and found some old classics? Is there, any old Rolexes in there?
At the moment, I'm halfway through. Obviously, I've just checked the watch and serial numbers.
Yeah.
We're up to about 700.
Yeah.
But just some great pieces.
Yeah.
The Bentley.
Oh, yeah.
Gold, quite a lot of nice.
Actually, had a
Panerais.
really nice Amiga today.
Yes.
Amiga's
We got
Seamaster.
a good selection of Amigas.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
And what about that Panerai that came in? Actually, not from this. There's that expensive Hublot.
Oh my God! Yes.
You haven't got Rainbow Hublot, have you?
No, but
This
it's
is
like,
special. Tourbillon.
Yeah.
Oh, you got Hublot Tourbillon.
About 100,000.
Wow.
What they've sold for. There was only, I think, one of 25 pieces.
Yeah, but everything in
I may
Hublot
go
is one
to
of 25.
Nico will probably want
Yeah,
that.
there's only one of 25 in every watch
It's
that
insane,
Hublot
though.
make,
Like,
isn't there?
it's an insane piece.
Yeah. Wow, that's absolutely
Hang
amazing.
on, that's it.
What?
Heavenly Mark.
Yeah.
It's the Nabucco range, isn't it?
No. Nabucco range.
That's one
That's
about.
it.
That's the Raymond Will. Yeah.
Yeah, the Raymond Will
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
the headphones.
Wow. Amazing.
Mm.
When you've been eyeing through this, though, so best watch for you so far is
The Raymond Will.
the Raymond Will, just because it's a little bit different.
A lot of nice Panerais.
Yeah. Probably. I don't know.
I mean, I saw so many Tudor boxes. So
And
many
as well,
Rolex
big
boxes.
selection of Breitlings.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, it's quite. Actually, I had a really nice Breitling today.
Yeah.
That was really different.
Yeah.
It's nice, I think, for us as well because I know we sell Breitlings and Amigas and stuff like that, but it's nice to see ones that we haven't had yet as well.
Well,
Do you know
this is what I was going to say, actually. I was thinking about it today when I was doing my show notes, and I was thinking to myself, the diversity, if let's say you end up with a lot of these watches, which I actually will imagine you will do to sell, the diversity of the stock that BQ will have now has just expanded, 7 times, hasn't it, in terms of the range. Does that mean you've got to sit there and start learning about all sort of, Breitlings that you'd never really sort of taken much notice of? Because you didn't really stock that many
I don't
Breitlings.
really understand any watches, so I'm not going to start learning these.
No. You know Rolex inside out.
But
inside out.
it is really interesting. I would say probably Rolex is about 30%.
Yeah.
So there's 70% of different stuff.
Yeah.
That you wouldn't normally, some old Jaegers, Reversos.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing. Anything you've seen in there for your personal collection, Spencer, you might want to pick up?
So I've just flicked through it.
You just flick through it. Yeah.
Gav, please.
Maybe. Don't rule it out.
I mean, you never know, do you? You never know. Oh, Paul, I better get over to Spencer this week and video the lot. You're absolutely
Paul,
right.
that means you're getting on the phones as well. Don't think you're coming here and just videoing. You can help.
Yeah, absolutely. Be jumping all over those phones. Now, I saw you were in all weekend cataloguing this stuff, weren't you? And obviously,
Yeah, I was in on Saturday,
and Sunday.
roller in my hair.
I saw you.
I know.
Because you were going to a bottomless brunch and you had a
Yeah.
roller in your hair and no makeup on.
Yeah, I was tanned. I was honestly.
You were
like,
all set and ready,
stressing
weren't
out.
you?
And then had to run home, get ready.
And I saw Dilly went to Manchester United yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. How lovely was that?
Yes.
You gave him
Yeah,
3 hours off to go and...
David,
3 hours plus extra time and penalties.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. But no, what I would say is I'm very proud of you. You don't need me to pat you on the back, but I think what you've done is it's a smart move, and I think it's a brilliant move for exactly what it says on there, to the watch community rescue, because you don't have to sometimes step in and do things. You can sit on the sidelines and realize it's not really your mess to sort out, but actually you turned it into, you're a good businessman, you've turned it into what potentially will be a win-win for everybody. And I think that's really important.
We don't want aggravation. We don't want people to have a bad taste in their mouth over the situation.
Sure. And I would have thought that the staff at Watchmaster, you're not taking any staff from...
I'm speaking with some of them.
You're speaking with some?
See. The issue is a lot of them are not outside London.
Yeah.
They're quite far away.
That's the thing. They're quite far away.
So
There's a few I'm speaking to.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
But they must be, although they can't be delighted with the outcome of what's happened, they must be delighted that at least as the ship was literally sinking into the Atlantic,
that's right. Yeah.
they have managed to hold all the watches up and someone's managed to rescue them
That's exactly
before the
it.
liquidators get in, because from the conversations I've had with a liquidator, it would have been an absolute shit show of trying to sort this stuff out potentially. Yeah. Wow. Amazing. Well, good luck with all the. I can't wait to come. I did actually. I'm not going to show it on the camera, but I did come in today and just did a quick whiz of all the boxes.
Was it as expected, or you?
I can't believe it. I mean, I literally cannot believe your office is always packed and always busy, but everybody was in.
Can I tell you the funniest thing?
I couldn't walk past desks.
Can I tell you the funniest thing? So on Friday morning, obviously the email went out from Watchmaster.
Yeah.
When I tell you that email must have been sent 2 minutes, every single phone was going. There was phones going that I didn't even know rang. It was honestly crazy.
Yeah.
Well, Gav, just to give you an idea, we monitor all the calls that we have in, out, and time on the phone. On an average day, we do sort of 7 to 10 hours in a day on the phones.
Yeah.
There's a couple of hundred. On Friday, it was double. We had 18 hours on the phones and over 400 calls.
Unbelievable.
It was 400 calls. And I think of the 400, there was about 340 incoming.
Yeah, it was.
Wow. It's pretty incredible.
Oh, God.
4CDs is asking, what sort of value do these watches total, do you think, approximately?
I don't know yet. Couldn't even tell you.
They didn't deliver a spreadsheet saying
because
total value?
Because there isn't something on the... No, it's not.
You've had to insure them?
Yeah. But I couldn't tell you the exact number.
No, because I guess... and also, their valuations were very different when they took the stock on, weren't they? In terms of to exactly where it is now. Yeah, exactly. Spence, will you just pass me back my my Neptune? For those... The other one, the blue one. Neptune. For those that are just joining, if you haven't already, I'd like to give a big opportunity for you all to upvote our channel tonight, because Gavin is in receipt of his Grail piece to his MoonSwatch collection, which is my my Neptune, which has finally arrived. So if you're late to the party's right here. Never mind Spencer's news. Sorry about that, Spence. Don't want to rain on your parade, but just minor news there. But yeah, there we go. Kaylee, what else has been going on in the watch world this week? Have you seen any other?
Gav, I don't
seen nothing new, have we?
Gav, I don't think you understand. No.
But actually, we got a call. Was it someone's hoping to get a new Daytona? Was that new?
Oh yeah, the new one.
Apparently, but who knows? It could have been not.
So the thing is that I've had calls already saying like, "Oh, I've got it," and I'm like, just double check the rest.
Yes, you've heard? Or?
Yeah. Well, actually, I did a whole 2 days of going in to see Rolex, and also I had a very, very nice hour at Patek in Bond Street. We were shopping the other day for a few bits and pieces. There's a lot of birthdays coming up, so we're in Bond Street and shopping for a few gifts.
Offer you anything?
Well, Spencer. Victoria has fallen in love with this watch. Let me just get it up here. Where are we? Here we go. I think. Well, first of all, it's an Aquanaut. This is the Luce with diamonds in brown, which she tried on, and then we got to here, and then we got to this, which is that's on my wrist. I mean, that's on my wrist. And if I tell you, this is the Aquanaut Luce 5261 R001. And she absolutely fell in love with it.
What's list price on that?
49,300, Spence. 49,300. And I don't really know what to say other than...
No, that is honestly amazing.
She doesn't really crave or go on about things. But all I've heard all weekend is, oh my God, I absolutely love that watch. And oh my goodness, if we could get that, it would be beautiful.
It must be kept on a watchwinder, Gav.
On a watchwinder?
You know why?
Annual calendar. Yeah.
See, with these pieces, if they go out of sync, you've got a massive repair bill, and it has to go to them to service it.
Yeah. And that's on my wrist, and it's it looks fine on my wrist. I mean, it looks much better.
What is it? What size?
It's 39 mil.
It's quite a good size. So what did they say? It's
nice,
I mean, isn't it? But no.
20,
the chat was
48.
The chat was absolutely delightful. It's her 50th coming up. You see, in I probably shouldn't have said that. Sorry, it's her special birthday
40th,
coming up.
40th, yeah.
It's her special birthday coming up in a few weeks' time, and not that you've got any chance of getting anything ever in life in a few weeks' time, but I did offer a limb. I offered him my gallbladder, which I'd already taken out, and It was absolutely beautiful. I'll tell you what else I did try on, Spencer, which I saw when we were at Watches and Wonders, is the new Calatravas, which were absolutely also gorgeous. I mean, just
that blue.
The blue was stunning, and actually that's my favourite.
What's that? Is that blue or black?
It's blue. Well, it's blue and black. But it's, if you look at the dial, it's got that sort of wavy, contoured basket weave. And here it is in the yellow, which also is very, very striking.
Sportier in the yellow.
Just really lovely.
These, Gav.
Sorry?
I thought you'd edited the colours.
No.
Price on these?
31 grand. Anyway, probably be a bit of a mess if I got a call for both, but I
personally prefer the.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you can't. I mean, that's absolutely the chances.
Is.
But what else is really interesting is I went to Rolex, and I was having a chat. I've been to see all of the friends that I've made over the last few years, and I wanted to put my name down for the OP with the celebration dial. And what I was told from two of them, from two separate ADs, is that it's quite a process to print the dots. It's not straightforward, and they have been told to reset customer expectation on receiving the piece. It's not going to be like the pink OPs or even the Tiffany, where it's
the new one with all the colours.
The one with all the dots on. Yeah, the Mr. Blobby. Whatever it's going to be.
It makes me think it'll be a bit like a meteorite, where each one's different, because obviously it's quite.
So
unique.
how rare are they saying?
Well, they're basically saying to clients, like, we can register you, but how about putting yourself down for a 36mm pink? Because you've probably got a better chance, and you know how slim that is, of getting a 36mm Tiffany or pink OP than you have of getting the celebration. And the numbers they were talking about may be one in a year. So it's going to be,
limited.
Yeah. So keep your eye out for that one, Spencer. Your suggestion that it might be double list might well end up like the Tiffany OP. Yeah, like the 41mm in a sort of price range of its own. I saw somebody asking, did I give away the, I think it was Kelvin, did I give away the Watches and Wonders pack? Yes, I did. Sorry, I was off last week and I didn't get to say, but I did pick a winner. He was contacted and you guys sent it all out for me, didn't you?
Yeah.
Now you're going to ask me who it was, and off the top of my head, I absolutely cannot remember. But equally, I can have a look on my emails in a second, because he did email to say thank you and that he got everything. So, and I sent the picture to someone else. So I split the picture.
Oh,
the
yeah,
catalogue.
I saw that message about the picture, and I thought,
he gave it to his little brother, didn't he?
And you replied, and I thought, thank God you replied, because I was going to text you, like, we're giving it to him.
Yeah, no, I was 100% giving it to him.
I think it did go out.
Yeah, no, it all went out. It all went out. And also, the Yachtmaster as well, Spencer, you're going to be very disappointed that it also is going to feel like it's very restricted and limited in...
So what are you saying? I'm not going to get it?
Well, I'm going to say you might have to speak to Roman and see if you can get one in the grey market. Because they're a bigger marketplace. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm sure you'll see one eventually. But that could also be quite limited, a bit like the old big boy, that you're not seeing so many of those, are you?
Challenge.
The challenge.
You haven't actually.
You've dealt in 2 or 3 now, haven't you?
Yeah, but they're
a few more,
hard to come by. Don't really get offered.
Been quiet of late.
Yeah, Lee Jasiok saying apparently the ratio of normal oyster perpetual colours versus celebration is 6-1.
And what about that day date? The emoji day.
Well, it's interesting actually, because one of the dealers that I went to see was telling me it's the most horrific watch they've ever seen. Bear in mind they work for Rolex.
That'll mean it'll sell.
And they don't understand why Rolex. It makes no sense to them, because it doesn't tell the time. I mean, it does tell the time, but it doesn't give the day or the date. And I just said it's an absolute winner, and people will love it because it's so collectible. And don't you think that it's really innovative and creative? And she went, but look at the classic styling. It's like they just destroyed it with emojis and hearts and, and words.
Did they
but
say
it's beautiful.
They've had any of the new releases?
Not one, and they don't expect any for a few months. I'm actually taking a friend of mine tomorrow to meet with one of my ADs, because he wants to start. He's got a big birthday coming up, and he wants to get his name down. But Watches of Switzerland Goldsmiths will not take any orders currently. They're still
I've heard that.
Not taking any orders, but Boucherat absolutely are. So that was
But it doesn't mean anything just because they are.
It doesn't. I went to the new Tudor. I've had a really busy week after my operation because I was in recovery. And after I picked up a watch, I went across town and I saw. I'm looking for the new Tudor with the burgundy dial.
Okay.
And I met a very nice guy and in one of the boutiques, and he said they're not come through yet. And then I got a call yesterday, but it was in the wrong bracelet. Because Spencer, I'm not getting an oyster.
You're getting a Jube?
I'm getting it on Jubilee.
But hang on, if you took it on the oyster, could you not buy a Jubilee bracelet?
Well, I'm not entirely sure, except to say that was I didn't even ask him that, Spencer. You should be in the watch business. I didn't actually ask him that question. Let me see if I can get it up actually for a second.
What did you just ask?
I think you could definitely. I don't think the bracelets would be that expensive.
I think you're probably right, actually, and I did actually turn it down.
Oh yeah.
You could get a Jubilee bracelet.
Yeah. James, can you just pop up my laptop for a second? Maybe on the middle screen so we can have a little look. There we go. I think that may come up. Will it come up, James? It's on. Shall I replug it in? Yeah. Okay, give me 1 second, everybody. Let's try that. Maybe it won't. I think it's going to work. There we go. You can see it just behind you on the left there. Spence, over your shoulder.
Oh, nice.
That's it on the Jubilee.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, 100.
Yeah, look, and I've always said to you, I'm not a big fan of Jubilees, catches the hairs on my wrist, but for me, this really, really works, and I really like it. So,
oh no, 100. It's 100.
Yeah,
I'm just guessing. I think the bracelets would be £400 or £500.
Yeah, the Aristocrat is saying no one is talking about the fact that the old ceramic Daytonas 2016 to 2023 are technically a limited run Daytona with that bezel and dial style relative to all previous runs of Daytonas. Yeah. Interesting comment. Yeah. So I've had a really fun week. Yeah, I've been recuperating and just been literally walking around various different sort of boutiques and shopping and all the rest of it in hope that one day it will all sort of come true. But meanwhile, let's just marvel, Spencer, at a £238 plastic watch. No? The journey's over. There we go. Exciting stuff. There was another thing that happened over the past couple of days. There was a very big release from TAG Heuer.
Okay.
I saw the About Effing Time boys were, I think, at the sort of the premiere. What do we think of this, Spence? This is the new TAG Heuer. There was an opening sort of film that was made around this with Ryan Gosling.
Hey, did you get the call about directing the
Make sure the sound's down on this, James. I don't want to get copyright strike.
Are you in? Yeah, I'm in.
They shot a commercial, a 5-minute sort of commercial based around the watch he's wearing on his wrist, which is pretty cool.
So what else do they come out with there?
So this is it's a sort of a reissue of an old sort of
Carrera.
Carrera.
Yeah.
It's a 39mm chronograph. Wears a bit like a 37 apparently. Perforated straps, about 5,200 quid. And look at the date window.
12.
Date windows at the 12. 80 hours power reserve, 100-meter water resistance, and it's not limited. But it's quite retro, quite rare. Nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
And I think it harks back to an old model sort of back in the day.
I was going to say, it looks a bit like a Heuer.
Yeah.
Carrera?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, the older ones, the
is.
Heuers were worth good money.
Yeah.
That was before they were tags.
Yeah.
And they were Heuers.
Yeah. I think, interestingly, I've been watching our lovely friend, the old watch lady.
Yeah.
And I love her collection. And actually, I've started looking at a Heuer Octavia.
Yes.
As potentially if you see one of those in near 1,400.
Some of those are worth very good money.
Give me a shout.
There's another brand that was about years ago that was similar to that called Fortis.
Fortis, yes.
Yeah. Again, you don't, but just different.
Yeah.
Just alternative pieces.
Yeah.
But Heuer's very cool.
Yeah. So that's one that I'm potentially, I've seen a few. The problem is, Spence, I might have to call in on your expertise because...
Don't do that, Gav. It's not that good.
Well, then I'll have to call in Paul's expertise because I've been I looked at this Heuer Octavia and I really like it. I really like the styling of it. I really think I want something a little bit retro as well, something a little bit older, maybe something from my birth year, 1970. But I won't know where to start. Like I've been looking at eBay as a starting point, thinking, okay, I'll have a little look.
Well, just have a look. Watches 90. So what, in Rolex or different brands?
No, I'd like the Heuer Octavia. That's kind of what I'm looking at. I really like it. As I said, I saw it on the old watch lady's.
What colour dial?
Black, or maybe a cream with the black subdials.
I'll tell you, there was another where it wasn't particularly expensive, but before I was into watches, I really liked the Monaco.
Yes. But I think with the Monaco, and I've looked at it for many, many years and thought. Let's get that.
Get up there.
Let's have. I've thought about this over many years. About so that's that's not the one. Hold on a second. Let me just find an old one. But the problem is, every time I put it on my wrist, it just looks bloody stupid. The Monaco Spence.
Yeah.
Every time I put that on my wrist. No. I'm trying to get it up. I'm trying to multitask with everything going on here. It would probably be easier to. Let me just put vintage. And just see if I can get it up for you so you can have a look.
It's not that large a watch.
Yeah,
I love a Monaco though, the green.
I'll find one eventually. Sorry, it's. Let me just look maybe on eBay. Talk amongst yourselves for 1 second while I just get this. Thank you, callers. So yeah, it's been quite a sort of interesting kind of week. Here we go. Let's just have a look at this one, James. If you can just probably pop this up when it comes up on the middle screen. Spencer, be over your shoulder.
Oh, that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the sort of thing.
That's the Heuer.
Yeah.
And the button configuration's really unusual.
Yeah.
There.
I think actually that's a Carrera.
Yeah, that's not the.
Yeah. I've put it in. It's come up with the wrong thing. But anyway, we'll. Here we go. There we go.
Yeah.
I really like that. But I won't know where to start, Spencer. I mean, what's your advice to me?
Got to find something original that's not been touched. That's what we're looking for.
So when I walk into a place or when I get hold of this, what am I doing? Asking to open up the case, but I wouldn't even know what I'm looking for. Do I take Andy from BQ with me?
Look at it.
Yeah.
Again, or if you bought it online, you got 14 days to return it. That's
even and with eBay as well. I mean, because you used to sell a little bit on eBay. You don't sell much anymore, do you?
I think eBay do the 14-day as well. Distance selling when you haven't seen something.
They also do the authentication process.
I've also bought another watch this week. Oh, I've gone crazy. But you know what? It's just the board.
You better not have any more operations or you go out shopping.
Yeah, can you imagine? Can you imagine? Guess what other watch I bought this week, Kaylee?
Swatch.
No.
Tudor.
No.
It's got to be Tudor.
It's not Tudor.
G-Shock.
No.
Oh, actually, I feel like I know. I feel like I saw it. Bamford.
Prestex.
Yeah. So our friends over at Prestex, they've launched, Duckworth Prestex, have had a new launch of this. And I have bought the Coronation watch. I've bought number 3. I spoke to Neil. And basically, for anybody that orders, there's a limited run of 300 watches. And you can choose basically your serial number.
3 to 150.
Yeah, because I'm number 3.
Yeah, you said 300.
Oh, sorry. There's two colours. So I'm assuming it's 150 of each. And I've bought the salmon dial.
Where does it say 3 to 150?
Yeah.
There, sorry. Old watch lady, 1999 Super Jack. Talk to me about Heuers before you buy. I did, and that's why my message, I said I'd love to have a coffee with you and to sit and chat. And that was one of the things I was going to talk to you about. So I'll use the 1999 to now buy you lunch. Somewhere obviously that's cheap, but I might extend that.
Okay.
I might.
McDonald's.
1999 probably doesn't even cover coffees in Radlett anymore. Now that Spencer's closed down all the coffee shops. Yeah, but what do you think? That's quite a nice little watch, isn't it?
Very nice. What's the other colour?
The other colour is in blue.
It's release date 2023, so you don't get it till then.
Yeah, so basically, it's quite an interesting model because you basically buy the watch, fund it, and and then it's delivered in September. But yeah, I've got serial number 3.
What you got to pick? Yeah,
you can pick your serial number. So if your favourite number's 13, then...
Where are the numbers? On the back?
Yeah, they're on the back. Let's have a little look. If I just pop up. There we go. So that one is number 1. Number 1 of 360. It's 365 in series, as in 365 days in the coronation year. I think that's what it is. But guys, do have a look at Duckworth Prestex. I think... with any luck, I'd love to see them at the BQ show. I don't know if Jimmy's lined that up for them to come.
If not, they'll be at the July show.
Yeah, no, amazing.
I think we're full at the moment.
No,
yeah.
How's it? I've got to ask James. You can lop that off the screen now. How's it all coming along? Obviously, no one's been over there.
No.
How's it coming along?
It's getting.
He tries to leave, and I'm like, you can't go there.
But obviously, it couldn't come at a worse time at the moment. What with dealing with the Watchmaster. Scenario and the new showroom.
Was that a consideration when you took on the Watchmaster scenario? Because you are heavily involved in your build.
Yeah, having the new showroom helped massively, but it's unfortunate that we weren't in the new place. But without knowing that we're going to have that makes life a lot easier.
Yeah.
And as well, for people wanting to sell through us, we're hoping to have exhibitions most months. So now with the new premises and having the extra space, we should be able to facilitate and sell a lot more watches.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of stock and stocking, that's come at a great time, hasn't it? You know, if some of these sort of watches hang around, as it were. But it's pretty impressive. There was one thing that I was asking questions on last week, but you all ignored everything I was writing in the chat, which is what we
thought you were still on drugs. That's why.
Yeah. By the way, this is going to be very, very controversial, but I'm going to say it, okay? Spencer, you've known me for probably 35 years. I am never one to have tried any narcotics of any type. I'm pretty square. But morphine is like heroin.
Hang on, but you haven't had heroin.
I've never had heroin, but if morphine, if that's how people get addicted, I can sort of kind of understand, because it's the best night's sleep I've ever had after having morphine.
Really?
It was incredible. Sorry to be an advocate of morphine and drug taking, but it was pretty sensational. And the sleep the next day, because I'm not a sleeper, I sleep terribly, but it was epic. And if I'm really going to get into it, surgery these days it's unbelievable. How am I walking around?
So literally, you're up.
I've got 4 holes in me, Spence, currently.
But like, how long did the surgery take?
I was out for an hour.
Oh, fine.
I was out for an hour, but it's keyhole. But you know, they've still got a cut.
But you had the tube down your throat.
Oh yeah.
So tell me, because I've had quite a few surgeries. Could you feel them taking the tube out?
I was still asleep now.
Oh, so I've had it before where I could feel them taking the tube out of my throat as I'm waking up. I'm like,
no, I didn't do any of that stuff. But what I'd say is, you know, my expectation was, and by the way, it's a long time since I've done 50 sit-ups. But you remember that? You know that moment when you've overdone yourself in sport, and for the next 2 days, every time you cough or laugh, it all hurts. I was really expecting that. Bear in mind, they've obviously removed a body part. It was in my tummy, and now it's gone, and I've got 4 holes. But I got up from the bed like literally nothing had happened.
No pain at all.
Discomfort from the fact that I'd obviously been cut and a bit like itchy because it's like the healing. But no, glue to close the holes.
Amazing.
If you're a bit squeamish, you probably want to fast forward this bit. But just absolutely amazing. Amazing skill set to be a doctor. No? Wowza. Yeah, there we go. I was going to ask you one thing last week in the comments, which I don't know whether you picked up on it. And actually, I had it for a question 3 weeks ago. And it was about AP. And have you seen the news about AP and the sort of insurance that potential watch replacement they're going to be offering?
Someone had mentioned something, but
I just wonder what
a bit of a
blur. I just wonder. So if I explain the scenario to you,
So
and I may get this wrong, I may get this right, so please do pop it up in the comments. But essentially, if you buy a watch from AP, let's say you buy a watch now, and in 3 months' time your watch gets stolen. If you've bought a certain model, then they will replace the watch for you. So if I go into Rolex and I buy a Rolex and it gets pinched, I might get the replacement value if I've insured it correctly. But equally, I can't get another watch from Rolex. They might push me ahead of the queue, but AP are basically going to be offering or alluded to be offering a service where if your watch goes and you bought it from them, it has a replacement built into it, almost like it's built into the price, I guess, that they'll replace your watch.
What, you go straight to the top of the queue and just pay list price?
They basically just give you another watch.
Oh, so they insure it?
Well, it's basically like, let's say every watch you sold from BQ had insurance built into it.
But people could lie.
Well, no, you'd have to have a crime report. You'd have to do everything. I mean, you're not going to say your watch has gone for the sake of it being gone. It'd have to be done through the proper channels, I would imagine.
But then what happens if it gets stolen? You go to AP, they give you a new one, your watch gets found, you have it back, you've then got two.
Then got to give.
No, you'd have to give one back. I mean, you'd have to give one back. I mean, those are all the questions. They're great questions, Kaylee, and all that would maybe when the details sort of come to light. But I just wonder if you thought that was I think it's quite a clever move, isn't it?
Mm.
Sort of keeps everything in house.
Yeah. But the issue is delivering it, but then you're going to upset customers who are on the wait list. Because if a lot of people have watches stolen,
well, let's say you oversupply by 5%. In other words, you have 5% set aside for robberies throughout the year. What they're saying is watch robbery has become such a big thing that they want to try and address it, that they don't want their customers to worry that if a watch goes missing, they don't have to wait or go to the grey necessarily to replace it and over-insure themselves. you can basically
They'll
sort of
give
get
them.
covered. Yeah.
Sounds a good idea.
Yeah,
Like to look
interesting,
into it.
isn't it?
Yeah.
And basically, I mean, it would be, as I said, like you pricing in an insurance premium that says, if your watch gets stolen, come back to me and I'll give you another one. I'll get you another one. Just a little business idea for you there, Spence.
That
was free,
I
that
have
one.
to have a think about that because I've got nothing else to do at the moment.
No, I know.
It's just to occupy our time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Well, the good news is, Spencer, I put out the call on Friday night, bearing in mind all this big news that had gone in the watch world, and I put the call out. Who has a question for Spencer? Let's take. Not 78 questions, 3.
Okay.
We
that's
got
good.
the lowest amount of questions ever because everybody was too busy taking in or watching Arsenal embarrass themselves. I had to get that in on Friday night. Yeah. Luke Jones asks, when are we going to see Spencer's personal watch collection,
Just have a
please?
look on the BQ site.
That's so funny. I was going to say, book an appointment. Come in.
Yeah, bqwatches.com, and maybe it's been increased by just a couple. Next question. This is from Colette Manson. Do you gift your staff watches?
She works for me, I think.
She does work for you.
Everyone.
That's so funny.
Everyone gets watches.
Yeah.
They've all got watches.
They've all got
They all need
watches.
to do the show. They get to wear one every week.
They do, don't they?
Yeah.
You got a nice one on this week, Hayley. Very smart. It's a beautiful little Tiffany swatch. Arts and curation. What's the end goal for BQ watches? Is there a plan? This is on the back of you
Kaylee takes over.
doing this. Is there an end game for
No
you?
plan. Just
There's no
Winging
plan.
it.
no plan.
Just keep growing, keep doing what you're doing.
Just do what we do. Yeah. Enjoy what we do.
You don't
That's the
open a
thing.
2 million square feet showroom and not have a plan.
Maybe open an office in Dubai, Australia,
No.
America.
You know, I didn't want to take an office in Farringdon. Never mind.
Let Dubai.
Just stay where we are and do what we do.
Just do what you do. Just
Yeah.
keep doing things right.
Yeah.
That's the most important thing, isn't it? So what do you think? We've got 3 questions. All that news, Spencer.
Someone's actually just put hold or sell Milgauss. I have all 3. Hold.
Hold them. 100%.
Yeah,
Gavin.
if you don't need the money. And
Gav, how many Milgausses?
I got 2.
So what's the one you're missing?
Blue. I'm missing black.
Do you know what's really... Do you want to know something really funny? We had this conversation earlier. Black is very... it doesn't really get offered. However, we bought one today.
You bought one today?
Yeah, but I had the only one I've got in stock. I haven't got
Right,
any.
okay. What year?
2023.
2023 black. I can't buy another watch this week. Seriously. This whole addiction is getting... I might have to go for counselling soon.
Go rehab.
Literally,
Yeah.
it's getting terrible. Yeah, honestly. Yeah, can you imagine? Could have bought another Tudor this week, bought another watch. Imagine getting offered the APs. The Pateks. We had that conversation. It was like can you imagine if we won the Euro Millions? And then I said, hold on a second, we're having this conversation. I've been getting a call to buy watches. And in the same breath as we're saying, it's like winning the Euro Millions, getting offered the watch. But it's nice to have them as assets. That's why I try and convince myself that these little plastic things that I'm never going to sell are still part of an asset. There we go. Or certainly this one here. There we go. Look at that beauty.
Is that the favourite?
Well,
you think so? Well, it's been
it's been a challenge. I mean, to get that has been an absolute challenge. Funnily enough, is it my favourite? Probably not. I do love Mercury, which is this one. I absolutely love Mercury because I just love the colourings. Also very hard to get, and I love that. And interestingly, they all do something for me. They're...
You know the great thing, they're
not the best watches in the world.
What's really good, for depending on what you're wearing, you can pick a different watch.
I mean, it literally does go on colourings because I've got really nice shoes on today, Kaylee. And look, if I put that up on there, hold on.
Oh yeah, your shoes.
Yeah. And I got new Dunks today, and
shoes.
Look, the Dunks and the watch, they kind of match. So yeah, I can size myself up. There's only one I haven't really ever worn. Let me just throw my shoe down, and for obvious reasons. But I do still like it.
Yeah,
It's
That's
Sun.
sort of a summary.
Yeah, it is. It's summary. What I didn't realise, actually, Spence, sorry to drag us all back to Swatch, everybody. I know it's boring, is they do sell different size straps because the pink that you quite like, Kaylee, as well,
short.
is very short, but they do sell a medium-sized strap. So I'm going to be picking up hopefully one of these for Vicky. She wants one of these now, so we'll try and grab one of those. But yeah, it's journey over. It really is journey over. It's also the end of the show.
So Kaylee, you realise tonight's the only night off, Gav?
Yeah. Off?
Off?
Work till 7?
No, tonight's like half day.
The Watch Apprentice, thank you for BQ for today's stream. Off to St. Lucia tomorrow, so we'll miss next week's. Why can't you watch us from St. Lucia? It's the Tinternet. You can watch us anywhere in the world. Heavenly Mark, we love Swatch. We do indeed. Guys, it's been great having you with us. Spencer, well done. Let's just I wanted to put the music on with this. Da 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 da.
I maybe ask for the next.
But I thought I'd get a copyright strike, so I've just sung it instead. So well done. I mean, it's a really good move, and I hope all 1,400 of these people are just nothing but nice to you. And however they resolve it, whether they get their watches back or they choose to consign with you,
that's what we're looking to do.
I think you've done a great thing.
Thank you.
So well done, you. Kaylee, should we let him do his outro?
Yeah.
Right. Remember to thank everybody. Remember to say, don't forget to like and subscribe. Go on.
I'll let Kaylee do it.
Thanks for watching, guys. Please make sure you like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And if you haven't dealt with us yet, it's only a matter of time.
See you later, guys.